Make them have FOMO. Hey, welcome back to Brow Tab. I'm Alex, your host, and this channel is for entrepreneurs who want to take their business to the next level. This is week 7, step 7 of creating your first digital product for $0. This is my signature series where I'm teaching you exactly how to create a digital product for $0 without spending any money. And this is week 7, step 7, and this is launching that digital product, actually putting it out there to the world so that you can teach what you've created, teach what you know, but also so you can start making those sales. Here at week 7, we have chosen a topic, we have decided who it's for, we have started a wait list, started advertising this to our audience, or started building our audience. We have created and recorded our entire digital product. We have prepped our back end for this launch, prepped to be able to start selling this product, this digital product, and now we're here ready to actually sell it. So it doesn't matter if you have done everything up until this point. If you do not launch the product, if you do not share it with the world, nobody can experience it. Nobody can learn from you. Nobody can buy it from you. So you have to actually launch it. Okay, so that's where we at here. And how you launch something is you make people have FOMO. You want them to feel like they're missing out. So a launch is basically a time period where you are going to be offering your digital product, this time for the first time, but you can do this in the future. It won't necessarily be for the first time. Okay, so it's a time period where you're actually offering the digital product. And that's where the FOMO comes in, right? So it's a strict set time period where you want people to be wanting what you have. You want them to feel like if they don't get in on this, they are missing out. So in a more businessy sense, what we're saying is to create scarcity, right? But we're also creating FOMO. Launch period is generally done over a 3 to 7 day period of time. Over those 3 to 7 days, we have 2 separate ways of creating scarcity, of creating FOMO. The first way is time, right? We're actually counting down the minutes, the seconds, the days. So if it's 3 days, if it's 7 days, we're counting that down, or we are counting down the spots that are available to register, to sign up, to join your course, to join your membership. There is a limited amount of spots, and that is our 2 ways that we create FOMO. First way is time. Ends tonight at midnight, ends tomorrow at 10 p.m. Creating scarcity through actual number of people, only 5 spots available, only 10 spots available, only 100 spots available. And then you can slowly count that down, right? So if you had 5 of your 10 people registered, you want to tell people that. You want them to see that the spots are getting less. So a launch is an offer, right? We are offering our digital product to the world, and this time it's for the first time, okay? And when we create this offer, it doesn't necessarily have to be a special, but we have to offer it and we have to create scarcity. So we have 5 steps to actually launching, and number 1 is to set a goal for your launch. What do you want your outcome to be? So do you want 5 students? Do you want 10 students? Do you want 1,000 students? Whatever your goal is, set that and write it down somewhere. Step 2 is to choose your scarcity, to choose your FOMO. So which one do you think works better for you, for what you like, but also works better to put a fire under your audience's ass, right? We want them to take action. That is the point of having FOMO, is we want them to take action on this offer right now. So will it work better to put a time frame on it, or to put a number of people countdown, right? Like we said, 10, 100, 1,000. Which one is right for you and for your audience? Step 3 is to choose your time period. So we said a launch is generally 3 to 7 days. Any shorter than 3 days, and a lot of times people can miss it, right? If they miss that email, miss that one post, 1 day, 2 days is not quite enough. But beyond 7 days is way too long. It's not pushing them to take action, right? So 3 to 7 is ideal. Anywhere in between that is your choice. So you need to pick your time frame. Even if you are choosing your FOMO method to be number of students registered, number of downloads, number of new members on your digital product, you still need to create a timeline. You need to actually shut down your launch at the end of that time frame, whether you hit the goal or not. Step 4 is to choose your offer. So we said a launch is offering your digital product to the world over a set time frame. An offer doesn't mean that you have to offer a special or you have to offer a discount. You can simply offer it as is. But it is always good to give an extra incentive beyond that scarcity, beyond that FOMO method, right? So if you are one of those first 10 people to register, you're gonna save $100. But it doesn't always have to be a discount. Your offer could be a bonus. It could be a bundle. It could be getting access to a coaching call. It could be actually anything. It doesn't always have to be a discounted percentage or discounted amount of money. It could be an incentive in another way to get them to take action right now because they're getting something else that is so amazing that after those 10 students register or after those 7 days of your launch are up, they no longer have a chance to get access to. Step number 5 is to actually show up and share your launch, share your digital product. 2 ways of doing this is obviously, number 1, social media, and number 2 is your email list. So if we went back to week 3, step 3 of this process of creating your first digital product for $0, we said it was time to start showing up, sharing about your digital products, sharing about your topic, teasing that something was coming to build up a wait list. So if you have done that and you have a wait list of potential students, of people who are already interested in what you have to offer, this is going to set you ahead. If you haven't done this, doesn't mean you can't launch right now, that you can't launch this week. You just do not have that list of people who are already ready, like to call those warm leads, to actually take action. You can still have a successful launch. It's just great to have that waitlist already. So if you have the waitlist already, this is where you're going to use email marketing. You can send out emails to your list, beautifully designed emails that will go out to your list, and you can even set these out to go out automatically as well. If you do or you don't have an email list, you still need to be sharing this on social media. Once again, back to week 3, back to step 3, when we were showing up and starting to talk about our topic, starting to talk about our digital product, we were building an audience. So we may have been building a wait list, but we were also building an audience on social media. So hopefully those people are already there watching and interested in what you have to offer, and now you're actually offering it to them. So for your launch period, and this may come into play if you choosing how long you want your launch to be, is you need to be posting to your feed at least once every day, if not 3 or more times every single day. This is a very focused period of sales. And once again, I feel like everything goes back to week 3 to step 3. We talked about the 3 different types of content, right? We talked about growth content, conversion content, and sales content. We are just talking sales content during a launch. We are making sales. So if you don't want to know what I mean with those 3 types of content, go back and watch this video here and I break it down for you. But we're focused on sales content, so you need to be showing up as much as possible making those sales, sharing that content. So at least 1 feed post, if not 3 feed posts a day. And by that, it could be a single post, it could be a carousel, it could be a reel. You also need to be showing up in your stories every single day. And I'm not talking about 1 story. I'm not talking about sharing that feed post just to your stories. I'm talking about 5 to 7 stories every single day. Once again, in your stories, this is where we're going back to week 3. Actually, before week 3, in week 2, and in week 1, where we talked about your connection to your digital product, your story behind your digital product, the transformation that you had that got you here, that made you want to start teaching this, that what you learned to get here, that story, right? That connection is what is going to sell your digital product. And that is what you want to be showcasing as much as possible, especially in your Instagram stories, because that connection is what people think about. They're like, oh, that is what I want, what she did here, how this happened for her. I want it to go this way for me, from where they are now to where you are now. That in between is what you're teaching them in your digital product, right? So you're sharing that transformation that you went through so that they can connect with it and be like, oh, I want that as well. And that is the best place to do that, is in your stories. And that helps when you're already living that life. You are already living on the other side of what they want, of what your digital product teaches. And that's what you're going to be showcasing in your stories all the time, but especially in your stories during your launch period. Do not forget about your FOMO. Do not forget about your scarcity. So when you are getting close to hitting your 10 students or to hitting your 5 days where the launch ends, make sure you are reminding people of this, reminding people that there are only a couple hours left. There's only 1 day left. There's only 2 spots left. Really light that fire under their ass and get them to take action immediately. Give them that serious FOMO. And then step 6, I know there was only 5 steps, but step 6 is to actually shut down your launch. So if you hit your 10 students and you did that in 2 days and your launch was supposed to be 7 days, you still have to shut it down. If you didn't hit your 10 students and you said it's going to be 7 days and 7 days comes around, you have to shut it down. If you said it was just going to be 7 days and you had a goal in your mind, 7 days comes, you still have to shut it down. You created that scarcity, you created that FOMO, which involves closing it in the end. You do have to shut it down, and we're going to talk about what you are going to do beyond that once you've shut it down in the next video in step 8. We're talking about assessing your goals and relaunching or putting your product on evergreen sale. If you want the exact steps of how to create your first digital product, from choosing a topic, finding an audience, the exact behind the scenes of the tech that I use, the tech setup, every different platform, every different app, templates, and full breakdowns on how to not only create, but how to sell your digital product, I am launching round 2 of your first online course in 60 days, where over 60 days, I teach you exactly how to create an online course that you are connected to and that you can also sell. The link to join round 2 of the live calls is in the caption, and not only will you get access to 8 weeks of live calls with me, you also get access, and let me say, immediate access to the replays from round 1 so that you can get started on creating your first online course right away. The link is in the caption to join, and the first 10 students get full access for only $199. This course will sell over $1,000. The first 10 students are getting in for $199. See how I put some FOMO in there? Okay, so that was week 7 of your first digital product for $0. We have week 8 coming next week, and that wraps up this signature series. Please hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you then.